Hey everyone, I'm Amber Oliver. Welcome to my channel where I share easy DIYs, colorful crafts, and more. I found this old IKEA table at a thrift store a while back. I knew it would be perfect for our dining room despite that dark color. I really wanted a bright white dining room table since I use a ton of color in my decorating. Let me show you how I painted it and the trick to painting laminate or really any furniture without sanding. Laminate furniture, IKEA is probably the most popular, has a glossy surface and paint will not stick to it. The good news is, if you use the bonding primer I recommend, you'll be able to transform your piece of furniture the easy way, despite those shiny surfaces. We got a great deal on this table and grabbed it despite the dents and dings. Before we could paint, we had to fill in those gashes with wood filler. Some were pretty deep and had to be filled in more than once. I actually checked the garage before buying more wood filler, which felt like a win, but it was actually kind of dried out when I went to work with it. It did still work, but a new package would have made this a lot easier. You may look at the material list below and think, wait, I thought you're showing me how to paint without sanding. Why is sandpaper on the list? Not to worry, we're only using that to smooth the wood filler. No dents and dings on your table? Just skip that part and go straight to priming. After the surface is prepped, it's time for primer. It goes on in thin coats, so you may need multiple to cover the table completely. Since I was using a white paint and going from a dark color to a light color, I made sure to put on 2 coats of primer. The first time I used this primer, I was surprised at how quickly it dries. Now, when I tell you that this primer is magic, I am not kidding. Another good primer is this Insil X Sticks. You don't need to sand with this one either, so it saves you a ton of time. But this BIN primer even comes in a spray paint. I was painting laminate furniture in this video, but you can use the same process for any wooden furniture. There's no need to go through the sanding process you normally would with paint projects if you use this primer. It bonds to the wood surface just like it does to the glossy surface of the laminate. This fast-drying primer sticks to all surfaces without sanding. This is not just for painting wood furniture. I used it on our dark brown shower tile. Yeah, I painted our shower tile. That has become one of my most popular posts. I will link it for you if you haven't seen the video. Now it's time for your first coat of paint. Make sure you stir with a stir stick before starting. Roll onto the surface of the furniture and use a brush to get underneath and near the edges. Use a good quality brush to avoid brush strokes. For best results, always follow your paint instructions on how long to wait between coats of paint. It also depends on the weather and temperature where you live. After painting your table, you want to allow enough time for the paint to cure before using it. Don't set anything on your fresh coat of paint. Remember, there's a difference between dry time and cure time. Check on the paint can to make sure you don't mess up your new coat of paint. Not putting things on the table is one of the only reliable ways to ensure your painted table surface cures properly. You will most likely need a second coat of paint. Using a white primer helps to give us a good base for our paint, but even with the best paint, it's better to use multiple thin, light coats. Also, make sure you're investing in quality paint. If you want that professional finish, you can't cheap out on the paint. Investing a little bit up front will help you out in the long run. Paint marketed for cabinets or specifically for furniture usually works best. I found my paint at Benjamin Moore. After the final coat of paint dries, you can add on a clear coat. This will help protect the surface of your table and keep your paint from chipping. I will link the polyurethane I used for the top coat since it doesn't yellow and it went on crystal clear over my new paint. I used the matte finish, but it also comes in a shiny finish. Pro tip, if you want to save a ton of time, get yourself a paint sprayer. I love the Wagner Flexio 5000, and I actually just used this to paint walls in our house. I'll link that video for you to the project if you're interested. There's no right or wrong way to do the painting, but a sprayer sure saves a lot of time. So now that the dining room table is done and we've built out our new bookshelves as our library in the dining room, we are next installing a chandelier and putting up a colorful gallery wall. Be sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our future DIY videos. I hope this video inspires you to give new life to your dining room table, or any other furniture piece you might have. You can change your table to a completely different color, even if you were starting with black like I did, or a dark stained wood. Do you love a good furniture makeover? Be sure to check out my upcycle archives linked on my blog. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.